What's up, guys? Ken over here at BackBody Mysteries. Right now, we're in recovery. Today, we're going to be talking about console wars. Is it over or is it the beginning of a new war? But before I get started, slap, like, and share. That's the best way to support the channel. I got my doppelganger here.
You know what to do.
I got my special guest, Jerelle from Evil Genius. So today's topic is about video game console wars, but more specifically, Xbox versus PlayStation. So how y'all doing today? Y'all ready to get into this?
Oh yeah.
So what team are you?
PlayStation, you know what?
Xbox is the best parts, man.
Xbox is the best part. I'm team Xbox and PC. So let's get right into it. With recent reports from major gaming outlets, including IGN, it has been officially declared that the console war between Xbox and PlayStation is over. While Nintendo always operated in its own space, Sony has been recognized as the definitive winner based on overall sales, industry influences, and exclusive titles. Do y'all agree with this conclusion? If not, why?
I slightly agree because there's been probably a ongoing process of the exclusive titles, whether if they a big console launch, like they were giving us the games we want, but tying down that exclusive right, like does give you the edge in this, in this war or whatever we want to call it. I mean, does that include PC? I mean, it kind of like moves away from PC because it usually comes out later on PC, but then that wave is gone. Like when a game comes out like God of War, Spider-Man, whichever game you play, like everybody want to play that. At least in this day and age, everybody's streaming. Then you got walkthroughs online, and other people will watch you play the game, whether it's a fighting game, RPG, role playing, and everybody's on that wave. And then, you got spoilers online. So you want to try to hurry up and play that game. But like if the game comes out a year later on Xbox or PC, like the wave is kind of already gone. At least you get to be able to enjoy the game without any spoilers. Cause I know sometimes when you play Last of Us, Last of Us 2, when Joel got killed, spoiler, like you can see that online, like on social media, then you get spoiled, like, oh, I should have hurried up and just played the game. But if it's a year later and it comes out on your console or PC, but then PC has that, like even with Resident Evil, like when it comes out, they always do the mods and stuff like that. Like they added Thomas the Tank Engine and Resident Evil and like other characters like SpongeBob. Like when that wave is there, everybody's doing that. But then when you want to play the game, everybody's hurrying up and try to play that game on that console, whichever one it comes out on. But
so you're saying that it's over with due to exclusive titles?
That and a bunch of other factors, but
Xbox
like
missing the waves.
Yeah, like you're missing that wave when the game comes out, when everybody's anticipating. Like when Halo came out. Remember, we used to be outside waiting at Game Crazy, like GameStop, or
well, I mean, they still do that for other things like trading cards now. Yeah. But I mean, I don't think the launches determine the success of a game anymore because you can just download it.
Yeah, but when you have a game that comes out exclusively on PlayStation, everybody's playing it for like a year, trying to figure it out, trying to get all the trophies, get that platinum trophy, whatever the case may be. When it comes out on Xbox or PC,
right, but that's my question. Are you saying that your argument is it's over with because of exclusive titles?
I wouldn't just try to solely put it on the ultimate exclusive that only comes out on that console. We can put those aside because we already know each console, PC or whatever, Xbox has their own game that's never going to come out on the other consoles. If hey, this game comes out on PlayStation first or Xbox first, but it comes out a year later on the other consoles, that wave is gone. Would you still try to buy it? Could you imagine if they did it with FIFA? FIFA only comes out on Xbox first, and then you got to wait 2 years later for FIFA, and that FIFA wave is real.
What's your thoughts? You think it's over with?
Yeah, I think it's over with. Well, I think the console wars is over with. Physical consoles, Xbox versus PlayStation. I do think Sony. I mean, if you had to go in totality and look at it all, I would say that Sony, that the PlayStation in the full span from PlayStation 1 all the way to PlayStation 5 versus all the different Xboxes. I would see why people would lean toward PlayStation, but personally, I do think that it was I think that it was a lot closer than people try to make it seem. Mm-hmm. And I do think that Xbox, I think that what they've done is they've moved away from gaming hardcore. Like he said, they lay to the table. They lay to the wave or whatever the new fad is, whatever the new game is, whatever the new genre that is. If we're doing indie games now, Xbox is late to get to the indie games. If we're doing side scrollers, they're late to get to the side scrollers. If we're doing exclusives, they're late to get to the exclusives. So that's what he's saying. I think that they've been playing catch up for a long time.
Microsoft Studio. I do know a point where they were buying a bunch of studios rather than try to get exclusive rights, because then, they give your company the power to go in and make changes or not have that natural collaboration that, hey, we want to get exclusive right to the Spider-Man game, rather than just go try to buy the studio, try to get the exclusive rights, because then that's better relationship with the developers, the people that comes out with the games, the publishing and all the other stuff. I think that kind of, I think PlayStation does a very good job of doing that.
That's the reason why they're successful, because they have developed their own Sony studios where they can produce these good games. And what is it, Naughty Dog? They have they don't need to buy. Xbox purchased Bethesda, which has Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls, and a lot of other different titles, but they purchased them to be able to have exclusive titles for them. But they have deals going on where they allow them to have access to those games that they should have made exclusive, but they're not, because they're focused on, it goes to my next question right now, but Xbox is focused on the money.
Game Pass.
Then they're focused on Game Pass. They're not focused on, you buy our system to get XYZ. You buy our system to get access to Game Pass. According to sources on the internet, Xbox is planning on releasing Game Pass on everything, planning on getting access to Steam and everything that Steam has. There's a lot of exclusive titles that's from PlayStation on Steam. That will give them access to a lot of PlayStation games and a lot of exclusive PC games. Do that give Xbox an advantage? But before you all speak on that, I wanted to get my thoughts. I don't think the console war is over with. I think Xbox is playing a bigger role on the long-term game, because with the reports of the new Xbox coming out in 2028 or 2029 and whatever that's going to bring. But I think they're playing a long game, because they're not focused on buy our hardware. They're focused on get our subscription pass. Does that put them ahead? Yes. As far as revenue?
So I think that when you say is the console war is over, that's why I said if you stop it right now,
right,
and you have to look at what has happened so far, then you give it the PlayStation. That's why I say if you take it so far, when you say the console wars being over, I think of like Escanor holding, Game Pass on his fingertips. Like, no, this is not over, because Game Pass, like, that's what they've put their pride, joy, and soul into. They have these companies that they bought up years ago. They've been pouring money into these games that they're going to release on Game Pass. They're bolstering Game Pass. They're even going so far as to bundle Steam services, not bundle the services like the payments, but the app, the functionality on Windows devices with Game Pass, so that even when you can play Game Pass, they can say, oh, if you can play Game Pass on it, you can also play PlayStation and PC games as well on it.
Because you got access to the Steam.
Exactly. Once they do that, they lock down the casual game market. They still don't touch the hardcore game market, but they lock down hardcore game markets. They do the video games what Apple did to user interfaces on phones, because you're locking down every device.
Right.
If I can get it on every device, everywhere I go, and I can only play these on PlayStation, it makes it for the casuals. Again, for the casuals, it locks down the market, and that's what's going to be good for Microsoft. I think it's a good move. They're actually doing right now what they tried to explain to us when they came out with the Xbox One and Kinect, and they wanted to go all cloud gaming,
the entertainment system,
and people were like,
absolutely no. So we have to be online all the time, the bandwidth.
And fast forward, and they're still doing it. They never stopped. They just dialed it back, but they never stopped. And I think it's a good move in ways, but the move away from physical is gonna bite them, I think.
Yeah, because they have a rumor that Xbox is supposed to be coming out with a handheld that's going to give you access to Epic Games. It's going to give you access to Steam. It's going to give you access to Game Pass and whatever's on those platforms. And it's like, at this point, it's not about the hardware. It's about what access do I have to platforms that I can buy games from. And then that really makes me think the console wars are over with as far as who's buying the most systems. But the next war is who has access to the best gaming platform.
Software.
And that goes back to what you were saying, exclusive titles. But it seems like Sony's not locking down their exclusive titles, whatever deal they got with Steam. Because as long as you got a Steam account and if Spider-Man's on there, God of War's on there, Horizon Zero Dawn is on there, it don't matter what controller I got.
Yeah, but my thing is with that is it's a good idea, but what's that price going to be? Because now you're taking that, you're going into that field of a monthly cost, like with Netflix or Hulu or something like that. And I know we used to have like those online things where you pay a subscription and you get the disc in the mail. But my thing is, how much would that monthly cost be? Also about licensing issues, because I know an issue some people ran into prior where if you download the game digitally, you technically don't own that game. And they have the right where if that publishing or that developing place say, hey, we no longer have a contract with Steam, pull our game. Now you don't have access to it online anymore. That will be one of my only concerns. Can they do that? Can they say, hey, you only have access to these fluent amount of games within? Because I'm pretty sure unless they own Steam, they can't just say you have access to everything, can they? Well, how exactly does the Game Pass work?
So Steam, the way Game Pass works is those are all the Xbox games. They just put them. It's Netflix, but with video games.
Okay,
that's the easiest way to say it. It's Netflix with video.
But there's no downloading to the console. You're just playing.
No, you download it.
Oh, you do download.
Yeah.
Okay.
Install them, delete them. Install them, delete them. But it's a list of 120 games. Whatever you want to play for the month. And then each month they rotate 15, 20 games in and out.
But if they would have rotated, do you still lose access to the games you already had downloaded?
Like Netflix.
Yeah, like
sometimes the Office is on there, sometimes it's not.
Because
however long they leave it on there, you can play it.
Because technically you didn't pay for it. You paid $9.99 and you got access to it.
Yeah.
So now I think the difference is
unlimited rental. It's like unlimited rental card
unlimited
at GameStop.
Because I think if I go buy a game, that's mine. But if I'm only doing Game Pass, you technically didn't pay for it.
Exactly.
I'm thinking of like, at least from a streamer perspective, if you playing a game that just came out and something happened with the licensing issue, then they got to take it offline. Now you no longer have access to it. Would they do that with new games to where you can't have that game on that disc?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
It would be that case. Or are we just speculating right now?
So what I think though, what I see is if I was Microsoft, you have the subscriptions. You get the people on the subscriptions. You start releasing these games on Game Pass, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get them to the point where you can bring in franchises that might not have gotten this much play. You get them out to millions. And then you release one that's not on Game Pass.
Right.
What happens that day? You force all those fans that you built, the 32, 40, then they got 40 million active Game Pass subscribers. Mm-hmm. You give them a new game, you give them a 1, you give them a 2 version, you give them a 3 version, and then or a 4 version, or whatever the new Halo is, or the new Bethesda game is. They release those outside the console. I mean, outside of Game Pass, and you would force all those people to buy them. You would cultivate those audiences. The same like Netflix. If they were to start taking some of these IPs and putting them in movie theaters, if they come out with a Bird Box 2, it would sell seats.
It will still sell seats. Yeah.
Yeah. It would move mountains. So if Microsoft wanted to dive back into like a mobile marketing, even if they came out with mobile games with Game Pass, they could come out with a version of an exclusive. And with an Assassin's Creed game that's only for that, that one.
Yeah, but
still say you can play PlayStation games.
But they wouldn't have. They're talking about not even coming out with a console no more, right?
Well, Xbox, the report is in 2028 or 2029. They're supposed to release. They haven't mentioned about the disc drive, but they're coming out with a console that's cloud based only, meaning that everything that you have will be up in the cloud, and you're able to stream it with no issues as long as you have the correct internet speed. And with that in place with the cloud only system, it will have access to all of these other apps and streaming services like Epic Games, Steam, Game Pass. So whoever you sign into, that's where your games are at.
It'll really be like Netflix.
It'll be the Netflix of video games.
All you need is a screen with the app on it.
I think my only concern is the download part, or whether.
Well, no, you're not downloading. Right. That's what I said. Streaming cloud. It's on the cloud and you're playing it off the cloud. You don't download anything.
But wouldn't you still need internet?
You need a fast internet to play it. It's literally like you're
playing. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
you're playing it while you're watching. It's like Netflix of video games. You're not downloading anything. There's no download then play. It's buffer, start, go. Yeah.
But wouldn't that be an issue?
Why? Why would it be an issue?
Because you can get overloaded with the server. There's millions of people playing a new exclusive game.
10 years ago.
Right. Xbox has the most servers ever.
Yeah, it does. It does have the most.
They have the most servers.
When this comes out in 2-3 years,
yeah, it might have
every 6 days they double in the speed. Like I mean,
yeah, I know. Yeah, it does have the best online multiplayer.
Mobile gaming has surpassed everybody. They have did about $92 billion in 2024 alone. Mm-hmm. They're outpacing Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo by a mile. The reports are, if they're able to handle games like Grand Theft Auto, Cyberpunk, and Elden Ring, which requires large amount of storage space, if they get access and the ability to be able to play those games, do you think they are the future of gaming?
Mobile?
No, I don't think so.
No, because those games will be on Game Pass. And they will get Game Pass eventually good enough to run on mobile. I mean, they right now they only have it on those Microsoft platforms. The goal of Microsoft is to build a full ecosystem. There would be no reason for them. You can play Game Pass on your VR right now. You can play the Nintendo Switches. They're trying to get the Game Pass on Nintendo. They're asking Sony, can we put Game Pass on that? Sony saying no and no and no, but they're asking. They want you to be able to play Game Pass everywhere. They want an ecosystem to the point where 7 of my other devices already have Game Pass on it. So, why would I buy this?
Does that give? But that gives Xbox an advantage, right?
It's not a win. If 10 years from now, Microsoft boasts, software sales that outpace Sony's and Sony's still making consoles, Sony won.
Yeah. Well, but we should talk about the console wars are over with.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why. That's what makes it over.
But I don't think that still solved the problem of exclusive or this game came out on this first. Because you can still have Game Pass from how it sounds, but does that necessarily mean that a game or an exclusive comes out on Game Pass first? Isn't that still up to the licensing and the publishing, wherever they publish that game first? Like, I mean, you still got like big titles like Last of Us, God of War. If those still comes out on another console first, whether if they come out on Steam first, PlayStation.
Well, no, that's not the argument. The argument is if they're able to put the streaming service on any system, because at the end of the day, it's about money. Yeah. Because if you're a company, you'd be like, well, do we care about selling Xbox system or do we care about having 200 million people access Game Pass?
But how does that work? Because I know when you sell at least now when you sell a digital copy versus an actual copy, doesn't the developers only get a certain percent?
It's like 12.5, 12.5.
How many times can you resell a digital copy? Would it be considered a used digital copy?
No.
Technically, it would just go straight to the Game Pass. Well, you're paying for the subscription, not the... I see what you're saying.
But you're paying for the subscription to have access to the games that are on there.
Yeah, but that's more of a long-term... That's more of a long-term fight then.
That's the argument.
That's the game they're playing.
They're playing the long-term game.
They're losing money on Game Pass to start.
Right.
The same as they lose money on the consoles.
I don't think, like, I know you said something about the mobile games. I don't think we'll ever, I would assume we'll never see like people streaming mobile games like as part of their stream.
Well, you forgot what these phones can do?
I mean,
and this is
you forget these phones are computers,
but I don't think I ever see somebody like playing the Monopoly games that everybody playing on the mobile game. I don't see somebody streaming that on their YouTube.
If there's an audience, you got to think about it.
There's a will.
15, 20 years ago, we would have said You can never play Halo 1 on a cell phone. You can't play Tekken on a cell phone.
Yeah.
Now,
Tekken on a cell phone? I ain't see it yet.
Yeah.
It's there. It ain't Tekken 8, but it's there.
No, it's not Tekken 8. You probably get those 2D.
Yes.
Like these phones are becoming everything. Your news information, social media access, how you see about the weather. I think the only thing, like, they got everything.
Yeah, but it's not gonna replace the controller or a mouse or a keyboard in your hand.
It's
not
the controller.
Yeah,
this is how it works. You got the phone in front of you. I want to play PlayStation.
Button pressing. I don't think a touchscreen mobile phone will replace a mouse and a keyboard and a joystick.
No, of course not. Those are the hardcore gamers.
Yeah,
but the casuals.
Casuals?
What's the number of mobile gamers? How much money do they make? How many billions?
They made $92 billion last year
without a keyboard and a mouse.
Yeah, but I'm still thinking. I mean, I know we talking about money wise, but I still think the average, because you still got going to competition and all the other stuff that comes in.
That's the extra stuff. We're talking just. What's the average number of somebody playing on a system, somebody playing on a phone, somebody playing on a tablet?
Yeah. But I still think that still comes with the general of how society is with mobile phone. Everybody has a mobile phone. If you can just put some type of game on there where everybody plays, of course, it's going to be, not every household has a console. Not every household has a PC or a Steam or Xbox. Everybody has a phone regardless of that.
Microsoft just sitting in the crib thinking like,
man, if only the Windows phone and the Zoom had took off.
You remember the Zoom?
We could have that ecosystem. We could be out here binging it up on Xbox, baby.
Oh, yeah.
The Zoom was cold.
It was.
Well, how much did the Zoom cost?
Too much. It costed the same as an iPod.
Yeah,
the same as a what?
As an iPod. Remember, it was the iPod and the Zoom, and the Zoom was smaller. The technology was slightly better in some places.
The Zoom,
it was smaller. It had less memory, and they wanted the same price. I was like, the gall of Microsoft.
Yeah, the Zoom, Microsoft. Hey, Zoom 2, Zoom 2026, something.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I mean, the Zoom was dope because, but that wave is over with. You got your phone, you got all your stuff on your phone now.
If they had Windows phones, they could get Game Pass on Windows Phone.
No, well, you can do that now, right?
Yeah, I think you can.
You can Game Pass on your phone, right?
Yeah, I can download. I got Game Pass. Well, it's the Xbox app,
but Game Pass is like an app, right?
Well, it gives you access to
Game
the
Pass
Xbox store, and you get access to all the games.
Okay.
Well, you really don't play Xbox, do you?
No, I don't have an Xbox. No, I do not. I do not have it. I mean, all the games that I want to play are on PlayStation. Like I play Halo. Well, I don't have an Xbox. Kwani has an Xbox. She plays Call of Duty.
But see, in 2 years, you won't be able to say all the games I play are on Xbox.
Or PlayStation, right? You won't be able to say that no more.
Because you'll be able to log into the Steam app that's on a Windows device, a TV, a phone, anything.
They come out with a Steam app. But usually Steam takes longer to come out with, because usually Steam will try to get a game, or however that process works, like after the game already been out, because they got to figure out the conversion and the configurations and the download and the image writing thing of how it installs on the game. And plus people mod it. Like you're more susceptible to modding your, even now, like when I play Tekken, like they have automatic AI in Tekken where it ducks and blocks everything and makes you a perfect player.
Yeah.
And they do that in Call of Duty and other games where they're cheating when automatic aim and it's center on the screen. Like it's a nightmare.
Yeah. Have veins in your neck crashing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
What console deserves to have the other exclusive title? I mean, deserve, like they deserve to have it.
I mean, what game? Because I feel like every sports game should be on every console. It shouldn't be no exclusive. Like you shouldn't have Spider-Man only on one console. It kind of doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
I get those studios like Sony and Microsoft. Last of Us is the banger. Like, it should only be that exclusive to bring you over to that console. But then if the console wars are over, then what's the point?
Yeah. I think exclusivity goes for new IPs.
Yeah.
Like I said, I hate when people take established IPs that are already multiculturally loved and everybody likes him and say, oh yeah, we're going to buy the rights to Batman and we're going to just keep him with us. No one else can play him anymore. If you star with Batman, it's different.
Okay.
But if he's already been to the public or everybody's been playing Madden, everybody's been playing 2K and they come out with, oh, the new 2K is only going to be on PlayStation. You guys have to buy NBA Live.
Yeah. Damn.
Why would you take that away from everybody? Like, no. Start NBA Sony Day and start that and be exclusive only on PlayStation to that fan base, introduce them to it and cultivate it. So I agree with you.
So you're saying games that are already have an impact on a universal scale should not be exclusive, but something like Last of Us, like Spider-Man, right? That's in a multi-universe. That's in movies. That's everywhere. That shouldn't be exclusive to PlayStation. But something like Last of Us is not it affects everybody, but that should be exclusive. Do you think God of War should be on Xbox? Do you think it's fair to say that they should allow them to have that?
Like, what is the point? Like, you're like, if I have to explain it, Grand Theft Auto, there's no reason that should be on exclusive.
He ain't lying.
Everybody gonna play it. No matter what, that's a big title. It shouldn't be exclusive on one console. But hold on. But then how do you figure out that net code? Can I play online on PlayStation and then be playing with my buddies on the Xbox or the PC? Yes, that can be done. It shouldn't be like that. 'Cause I think even now with Tekken, like you can play somebody on PC and Xbox. You can do that.
But that makes me go back and think about when San Andreas first came out on PlayStation 2 and how it was on PlayStation 2 first. And then it came out on the first Xbox later. The game was better. The graphics was better. Yeah. More of the detail was better. I don't know if they had a few more weapons, but it was clear Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was better on the first Xbox. What do you think about that? Because there's rumors that, we're still doing this. If it's on this Xbox, you get this. If it's on PlayStation, you get that.
Exclusive content. Yeah.
What do you all think as games that are on everything? What do you think if we go back to the past and they started doing little things like that? We're going to observe your version and we're going to make sure our version is better than yours.
But that goes back to the console wars. Like even, I think it was Spider-Man. If you brought it on Xbox, you got this. Even with Mortal Kombat, I believe if you brought it on Xbox, you got this skin.
Well, no, not content. Not like digital add-on. Like how I gave the example of San Andreas. San Andreas looked better on the first Xbox. They had more detail.
I got you.
Yeah, but then it's how many years later? Was it a year later? You missed that wave. How many more people are still going to buy on that console? Like, I already beat it. Like, I don't care about no.
That was the reason for Microsoft losing the console wars to the
How many?
Because yes, it was nicer. It looked great. It played amazing. We had already flipped it.
You're right, but what you're saying is,
and I was an Xbox person.
Man, this is great. We can finally play Grand Theft Auto, and I went over my cousin's house to play on the PlayStation.
Yeah, but again, every generation, the console wars has evolved to where we don't have this. If we go back and look at PS1 and Xbox One, Xbox 2, it was completely different from how it is now. If you already beat the game, I'm not gonna go back and play Grand Theft Auto over again after already.
You're not,
even if it's more graphic or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm just not gonna go back and replay it. I mean, what are you achieving?
Yeah. Well, but then you're saying, so you're telling me right now, let's say at home you have an Xbox, a PlayStation, a Nintendo Switch, and a PC. Let's say you a hardcore gamer, you got everything, right? Final Fantasy 1 comes out, right? Final Fantasy 1 comes out. You buy it on PlayStation because you've been playing on PlayStation your whole life and you started with Final Fantasy on PlayStation. So you're going to finish the game and complete the game on PlayStation. You go buy it on PlayStation, you pop it in, you beat it. Great. You have a great time. Let's say Disc 2 come out, right? Or Part 2, Disc 2 comes out. They say, hey, it's been a whole year since we waited for Part 2. Xbox has been able to evaluate this game and make Part 2 look better and feel better for Part 2. Are you going to go buy Part 2 for PlayStation 5 or are you going to go buy Part 2 for Xbox because you heard that version is better?
Me personally, I care more about gameplay.
Well, no. Right. I totally understand that. But before you go buy Disc 2 on Xbox is better Or are you sticking with PlayStation because that's what you started with?
I am how I view Xbox and PlayStation. It's like 3 points to it. How I view Xbox and PlayStation, I will probably play more of a shooter with an Xbox controller and more adventure games with a PlayStation controller.
That's a great idea. I'm with that.
Like me, I'm not worried about graphics because I have played plenty of games. The graphics pretty shitty, but the gameplay is amazing.
Right.
I'm gonna always bring up Winback. Remember the game Winback?
Yeah, I remember Winback.
Amazing.
Winback was amazing.
Graphics were crappy, just like GoldenEye or Banjo Kazooie. But you like that game, right?
I remember Banjo Kazooie. You don't like that game.
That was a good one.
So
yeah, but what about you? If you had an experience on one system and you knew the second version was coming out, are you switching systems? Are you staying with the one you started with?
So I'm not going to answer it logically. I'm going to answer it like a hardcore gamer. I'm sticking with whatever I started with.
Okay.
My nigga.
I'm loyal to the brand.
Could they still do it now? Yeah. Even with PS4 and you got a PS4 game, now you got it on PS5, but you pay an extra $15 for updated graphics. And they do that with a lot of games. And I'm like,
Pause.
Well, that's different because that's you playing the same game over. My argument was if you know the next version is coming out, it's on all platforms, will you get the version that's going to be better on that system?
No, I don't think
you're
so.
reading it on you're playing the game on the controller that you started playing.
Okay. Because I think that's important too. What you plan to play on the controller with,
and that's why the console wars, like I said, even if Microsoft does what they do, they won't be able to win because Sony has a market hold. They got a hold over just a huge market share. People are going to buy that controller. They're going to buy those systems. They're going to buy God of War. They're going to buy The Last of Us. They're going to buy Uncharted. They're going to buy, all of those Sony exclusives. And if I had to choose between, The Last of Us 3 is coming out on Xbox and on the Series X, it's running 120, 60.
60 frames.
Yeah, like it's 4K, 4K. It's just blowing the PlayStation version out the water, man. It's just blowing out. I don't see the PlayStation gamers hopping over to that Xbox version. You know what? We'll take our 1080 over here. We'll take our 1080 over here on our PlayStation.
You'll take a 1080p.
We're gonna make it happen.
Wait a minute.
That good old 1080p.
Because if it was the Xbox, I'm gonna do the same thing. Yeah. I'm over there defending the Series S games, and I'm like, he looks
like Halo. When I'm playing Halo, I would never play Halo with a PlayStation controller. Never.
No. Right, but for somebody that never played Halo with Xbox controller, they're not experiencing a new experience by playing it for the first time on PlayStation because they're just going to be used to the PlayStation controller. Because I can guarantee you, if Halo was on PlayStation and they allow everybody to cross play online, they're not going to be like, I can't really get with the shooter. If you can play Call of Duty with a PlayStation 5, you can play Halo.
Yeah, I don't know. I think our generation is completely different because now you got these, you got these mods with I can take my Xbox controller and plug it up with an adapter and plug it into a PlayStation controller. I think that. Like now, because we have that, because I'm thinking from the perspective of we didn't have that. You couldn't take a PlayStation controller and plug it into an Xbox, but you had that feel of that Xbox controller with that trigger. PlayStation controller don't have that. They have that soft, whatever.
What do you mean by that?
But I'm not trying to downplay the controller, but it is not beneficial for shooters. Like Call of Duty, I played it on Xbox. Yeah. Like action adventure games, I played it on PlayStation because of how it feels and where the buttons was. I think the D-pad is a little bit, like the trigger,
American trigger, man.
What do you all think is the best controller ever? Up until today, what do you think is the best controller ever?
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo controller?
Super Nintendo.
Sega Genesis, when I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this.
And
probably a Super Nintendo because it's simple and it get the job done.
Yeah,
you could probably use a Super Nintendo controller to play nowadays games.
It
He ain't lying.
It fits in your hand perfect. It's not nothing in a way. I think the analog is just for those action adventure games where you need it. But like even the PS1, like Resident Evil, amazing.
I think the best controller ever, up until today is Super Nintendo controller and the PlayStation 1 controller.
Yeah, I would agree.
I would say those are
PlayStation 1 brick.
PlayStation 1 controller.
Man,
Cement block.
I would say the first slim version of the first Xbox controller, not the big big
I
one.
remember.
The first slim one that they brought out with, that controller was like it was perfect. For that time, it was perfect. The N64 controller, the Dreamcast controller, I felt like those controllers were trying to do something different with the memory cards, expansion packs. I didn't really feel that.
You're talking about the Xbox controller they came out on the original Xbox right before 360.
Right before
After
360.
they had the big one for a while.
After they had the big one, that was like, damn, this is perfect.
Nice. And then the 360 one kind of got a little weird. It had like a little bit too much extra.
Yeah.
But the first one was
because it had that dumb battery sitting in the middle.
Yeah. But that first one was nice.
it was wireless, right?
Oh,
Yeah, of course it was wireless.
Oh yeah, man. That was.
So, what do you all think is? Well, I'll ask it like this: what do you all think is hands down the top 3 best features that a controller must have? Do you think the mic in the controller is good? Do you think it being able to breathe? Because that goes to my next question about because controller matters, right? That really determines where you're going to play. PlayStation is talking about releasing more cooling and heating controllers for more specifically for people that play in tournaments. So if they're able to adjust. Now they had cooling and heating controllers before, but these are going to be adjust like they're, from what I'm reading on the internet, they'll be able to adjust automatically based on the button input. So they feel like if you have more heavy button input, like if you're playing a fighting game, it'll kind of cool up. But then once it's see that your button input slowed down, it kind of warms up or whatever. Or in some cases, they're saying it may determine the temperature in the room. Because I remember how you were saying when you play in tournaments, you don't want your hands to be cold when you're playing in tournaments. That's not a good thing when it comes to competition. But do you think that's a good idea? So like, again, I'm getting way off, but what do you think are the top 3 features controllers should have?
I think now, because I was playing when I was playing Last of Us 2, like Last of Us 2, and I forgot another game I was playing, but you can hear the conversation come through the controller, like as you're playing, or you hear some of the monsters in the background, like breathing, but the breathing sound is coming through the controller, not necessarily the TV. So it kind of add to the dynamic of the background and the foreground music. And it made it a little bit more like weird, like as you play the game, and it's like, even when you're talking with somebody on a walkie-talkie in the game, you hear their voices coming out of a controller instead of the TV. Amazing.
So you think controllers should give personalized experience from there?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not too much on the touchpad. It does work in some games where you need it, but then it's getting a little bit too much of, because you got to move your hand a certain way to move your thumb. And I know they're adding a touch pad
and back pedal
now. I think that might be getting a little bit too much. But like, yeah, with the vibration when you hear the monsters, or you like around the corner, or you got Call of Duty, you can hear like your character breathing and your controller vibrating at the same time, like slightly giving you a pulse. That is great. That's a great interaction with the game. But yeah.
So you got one personalized controllers that give you an experience. I don't know, like the short version, but like personalized controller to give you an experience. What do you think controllers should have?
I think I need to play more on PlayStation, because my Xbox controller don't say nothing but it's just vibrate. But probably haptic feedback, like giving feedback, recoil from gunshots, vibrations, car vibrations, or any type of clicks, stepping on glass and the controller move a little bit, knickknacks to immerse you, like you said. And then I think the best functionality that any controller could have would be like the Nintendo Switch or Wii functionality to
beat the motions.
Okay. I don't think that the big console developers, Microsoft and Sony, are really taking advantage of that. I think that they should have came out with a regular, volleyball game, a Wii type simple game functions for some of these controllers for, again, casuals, especially Microsoft, because that's what they lean towards, people who play stuff like that.
Like the evil within, right? So in the game, I guess the icon pops up on the screen where the eye is slowly open, and if it fully opens, the monsters see you and they're coming after you. But on the controller, it'll change like from blue to red, and then it'll be red. And the game is like an open world type of game. So you wouldn't necessarily know visually that the monsters see you, but if your controller is glowing red, you know the monster is coming towards you, and you got to try to figure out where they are.
Yeah, that goes back to that interactive personal experience.
It's amazing.
I think controllers, somebody going to do it somewhere. I think controllers should, it goes back to what you were saying, that interactive personal feeling. I think I would enjoy a game. Let's say if I'm playing Far Cry, right? Or Far Cry, I'm running around and somebody runs up to me. I think controllers, this will be like a mind-blowing experience for me. I'm running around, let's say I turn a corner and somebody like grabs my arm and they like hold me, like, and they trying to pull my arm down. The controller weights get heavier on that right side.
Oh, that would be dope. Oh yeah, that would be dope.
Like damn, like hold on, like whoa, slow down. I think that would be something, but I don't know how that would be done. But I think it will be a balancing device in it. I think that will be amazing. Or if
That's nice.
right, I'm playing a Call of Duty and I'm shooting, right? And you know how sometimes the barrel get hotter and hotter?
Yeah.
I think when this barrel started to get hot, the controller started to get hot.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
And
that would be
the needle when you shooting the needle.
Oh yeah, the Halo.
Yeah, man, come on, give it to me.
And you feel it explode. Oh yeah.
I think that would be. I think that.
My controller started flashing purple and it'd be warm.
I think,
man,
that'd be dope.
I think building the experience like that will make you be like, damn, because you'd be like, you anticipating things like that to happen. Or yeah, I think we'll get there. Because if they're doing the heating and cooling, we'll get there. Because they have the force feedback. I remember when the trigger pulse came out, and that was like really cool when you're holding it too long and it pushes back. Even when you're playing something like Forza and you're burning out, it kind of like ripples back on you. I think controllers like that are really cool. But hands down, best controller, Super Nintendo and the first PS1. Yeah. Okay.
My favorite was gonna be Xbox 360, but I mean, best controller.
I mean, of course, analog is there for the game, but as far as those handheld, like that first PlayStation, because you can put your finger around it. You know, I ain't trying to go too much detail, but yeah, that.
And to piggyback off what you said about the weights,
right?
Like the balancing. That's what I was saying about the motion. Because like I remember when I was young and you would see, especially like ladies, when you would see girls playing video games, they playing a race car game or they don't really know how to play games and they're driving into a lot of this.
Oh yeah.
You always think that doesn't do anything. Like, you know, you should just hold the controller. I think that they should have controllers where you're driving the game and
you feel
give it to your auntie and on Thanksgiving she can do this and it's gonna steer the car because it works. Because they don't need to learn to use 47 buttons.
Yeah, because that's the force feedback and steering wheel. So if they're able to put that in controllers, I think that would be a different experience. And I think but do you think little things like that, whether it's a headset, whether it's a microphone, whether it's a controller, does that make you want to buy that system more? What if that was only exclusive to a PlayStation? Would you be like, PlayStation got this, so that's one of the reasons I'm going to buy it because they have that feature? Because I don't think the Kinect did anything for Xbox. Ain't nobody gonna run on buy the Xbox. I'm gonna get the Kinect. Now don't get me wrong. The Wii, the first Wii, the Kinects, those things were phenomenal in like therapy center where people going through therapy, trying to go through recovery. Those things were heavily used in those. Yeah. Like even if you go into some hospitals and some places where you're going through physical therapy, you still see the Wii in there.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
You still do.
100%. But the reason why the Kinect wasn't successful was because Microsoft marketed it.
Oh yeah,
terribly, and they marketed it 10 years early. Yeah, they were marketing it like the commercials and the presentation they had for the Kinect seemed like they were marketing to people who have 5G internet of today. Because if they came out with that today with the cloud gaming and always have to be on, nobody would care. The games are already always on. They're already, they're doing it now and nobody cares. But back then it was like, what?
Yeah, I think.
I don't know. No.
Yeah, and I kind of think the Connect camera was used in a bunch of different other areas as far as, because at my job, they have this interactive wall and they use those cameras. And I don't know if the patent came out and then everybody started to branch off of it and use it for other different technologies or something like that. But
for those who don't know how tariff work is, they charge for the import fees, and sometimes the company either take the hit on the tariff, or in some cases they make the consumer take the hit on the tariff. It can go either way. Whoever's going to take the extra hit. On our other podcast, I talked about if Grand Theft Auto was going to be $80 or $90. We already have the first game that breaks the fourth wall of the price, which is Mario Kart World on the new Nintendo Switch that launches in June. That game is $90 or $89.99 or $79.99. Cool. Long story with tax, you're going to be paying $100 somewhere around there. It's coming true. Mm-hmm. Are y'all ready to pay $100 for video game? Now, not every game, right? But not every game. But if Mario Kart is kicking it off, who you think is next? So we're going to be dropping $100 for video games. Because the tariffs, if the tariffs wasn't going to do it, it's definitely going to make it happen now.
I mean, it alludes back to when we talked about on the other pod about Grand Theft Auto. If I'll pay for Grand Theft Auto, and then we'll pay for Nintendo games. Nintendo games don't go down in price; they don't go on sale. Again, Nintendo is in their own lane. When Nintendo can do whatever Nintendo wants to do, and we're gonna pay.
I mean, but is Mario still worth that much money?
You said, is Mario still worth
that much money?
Yeah. Was Mario ever not worth that?
You're right. Mario been worth. Probably they can
Mario's
do
been
whatever
the gold standard for years, banger after banger.
Yeah,
banger.
and people streaming, and man,
they get tired of making bangers, so they be like, okay, let's just re-release the last four.
Re-release the last 4 Mario games.
No one's gonna buy this. 50 million copies.
And I know they're gonna be creative with it, because I know they gotta make sure it's a hard. I hope they add a hard mode, because everybody love those super. What's the a-hole Mario?
What?
Them asshole Mario games.
Oh, those are
fireballs everywhere.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Then again, like, what exactly are you getting with that? Is it the open world? Is it truly going to be like that? Are y'all going to give like a little bit of tea to some of the retro stuff, add some of the old 2D stuff in there when you do a stage? It's going to be worth it. It's going to be good.
I mean,
but how much is the new console going to cost?
$450 and $500.
Yeah, I think
for a handheld?
Yeah. Well, it's not a handheld. It's handheld and mobile.
It's like the old thing where you can say on
you ain't seen the Switch 2?
I saw it, but I didn't see all the details yet.
Oh yeah, that's the same bigger screen. It got magnetic Joy-Cons that go on the side.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think they took a step back with the screen, because it's not the OLED. If I'm got the data right, it's not the OLED, but it's supposed to be up to 4K.
Okay.
But the OLED screens tend to be better as far as visual and how the colors pop off of it. I could be wrong, so somebody correct me if I'm wrong about that. PC, Xbox. But with tariffs coming out, if you walk into a store and you be like, okay, this game is $80-$90, but I can go download it for $60, where you going?
Especially if I can download it on any of my devices.
Well, but let's say you...
So in order to pay more, this is how they got it. In order to pay more for the physical, I have to go out and purchase the console. And then
so you thinking in the future? That's you're right.
But if it's on Game Pass and it's on my TV I got a whatever. Whoa. I got a Toshiba TV and Game Pass and Steam are already on it. All I gotta do is go buy a controller.
Well, but hypothetically speaking, if you have a console at home, you walk into a store, the game costs $90-$100, but you saw it $50-$60 to download, which that tends to happen a lot. But let's say the newer games are in the store more because of the tariff, but at home they're at the regular industry price. Are you completely going away from physical? Is that the time to shift 100%?
Me, I wouldn't, because it happened to me twice where I was playing a game that I downloaded. Then I stopped for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I went back to try to go finish it, and it's no longer in the store.
Great, now none of us can watch TV. That's my TV! No crap, that's why I'm freaking stealing it.
Call the cops.
So that game you paid for it and downloaded.
That had happened to me twice. Where I brought a game through the digital store, downloaded digitally. Then I was playing it, and then I went back to go try to finish it. You know, you have so many games you're trying to play and finish, and then you go back, but then it's no longer there. It's no longer on the store. Like, I would still rather have that physical copy, so that won't happen. But then, you know, it's just like, I think I was playing, I don't know if it was Dead Space 3. Like, I couldn't go back and finish it. And I had to wait for it to pop back up in the store.
Yeah, I think it's going to come with time and education.
Yeah, it's going to be. But I still think if you're talking about that $100 game, that first wave going to be, you know, the game comes out at $100. Black Friday is $60.
Well, right, but that's my argument. You walking into a store for the first time, regardless. Let's remove the idea that it'll get removed from the store. Let's remove that idea. You walk into a store, Halo 10 comes out, or God of War, whatever, right? I don't know what God are we on, 7, 6 now?
Whatever. 5.
I don't know. But let's say the new God of War comes out, right? Tariffs are making stuff more expensive to import. You walk into a store, it's $100. You go online, it's cheaper because they're not affected by the tariff because it's digitally downloaded. Is that the time to physically step away from buying physical games?
No, you double down.
No. You say you double down?
I would double down. The reason why I say you double down, and I think that there will be a shift soon, is because people are starting to become educated to the fact that downloading is not ownership.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe parents who are purchasing these games for these children are starting to realize that downloading is not ownership. They're starting to, these Robux and V-Bucks are starting to add up to the parents.
And it's unlimited.
Exactly. And the new generation of parents are going to be from that generation who knows better and aren't going to be spending this money on microtransactions for their children. Yeah. It's going to be those kids are going to be. Yeah. So the new generation of parents are going to be like, oh no, if I'm paying $80 to $100, we're going to get the physical.
He ain't lying.
You guys are going to have, I think it's going to be a shift. It's going to be a shift because the wave of parents that I think in the last, 10 years of the digital growth don't know any better. They just didn't know any better. There's just a lot of people who didn't know any better. Credit cards, Robux. Okay, they were getting the games, but they didn't know where this money was going. They didn't know that they were like dumping this into nothingness, But I see that when games are $80, $100, these parents will take note. I believe that it'll be, a lot. I think that less games will be getting purchased, but it'll be more of a quality. They'll go back to, times of hard, like the tariffs. Hopefully it puts some struggle back in America and cousins can start saying, oh, I got Mortal Kombat. You guys got NBA. Yeah. Let's,
it's funny. We don't share. Nobody shares the video games no more.
Man, hell no.
At least I don't know.
Nah, that's what people make when I used to work retail or work in video games. I would tell people all the time, why would you buy physical? So that you can give it to your cousins or your little nephews when it's over. I remember doing that stuff to the kids. I'm like, y'all, you're forcing these parents to buy $100 games for these children. All of my best games were hand-me-downs with stuff that I got from other people, games that I got from my friends.
To buy those old consoles, like Nintendo cartridges.
Man, going to Walmart, hitting the bin, going to GameStop, hitting the bin, and man, they got Grand Theft Auto for $3 today. Oh my God, can we get this? Like,
we old.
Yeah, these kids not going online and saying, oh my God, they have Game Pass, Grand Theft Auto for $3. Let me go ask my mom if I can see a credit card. It's not happening. It ain't happening.
No, it is definitely not. I remember that. I need my game back. Or you borrowed disc 3 of Final Fantasy, or you borrowed disc 1. I'm on disc 3, you on disc 1.
If I give you my disc 2 for a game, don't bring back disc 2 because I'm still playing disc 1 and you already on disc 2. And then when I go play disc 2, you bring it back messed up. Don't do that.
Emotional, damn it.
Oh man.
Yep. I already beat disc 2. I'm on 3. I know you can't even play
2. Like, don't bring back my disc 2 messed up. Please. I need to be able to play it.
Now you go clean it at GameStop. Get that little buffer machine. Remember that?
Get game crazy.
These high prices are going to turn video gaming into a poor man's game again. And that's the thing. Like we used to have, what was it? We used to have the Xbox the discs inside the magazine with the demos. Maybe like 12, 13 different demos on the game and all.
That was a time, because now you can just try everything out. They'll let you try games for 30 days and you see how it goes. I'm just going to give y'all a quick streamline of how the console wars have been going over the last 25 years. So PlayStation 2, that's when it really started, and versus Xbox. PlayStation had 155 million in sales. Xbox One had $24 million in sales, but Xbox was the more powerful system. Xbox Live was introduced, online gaming, and then the Halo franchise pretty much soared that whole gaming era. So, but overall, the sales were better on PlayStation, but Xbox started something. PlayStation 2 dominated for a little bit, but when that Halo came out, it was kind of like, where this is real. Generation 7, if I'm getting the generations wrong, don't kill me. PlayStation 3 versus Xbox 360. PlayStation 3 sales was 87 million. Xbox 360 sales was 84 million. Again, Xbox had stronger server. It had earlier libraries like Halo and Gears of War. PlayStation also had this huge library of games like God of War and Last of Us. In the beginning, Xbox 360 was winning the war. They were winning. They started off strong because they were the new system and they had history of Halo. So Halo really carried them into that next generation. Generation 3, or generation, no, I'm serious, not generation 3, but generation 8. Again, if the generations are wrong, don't kill me. PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Xbox One was trailing to surpass PlayStation 4 in early communication and early hype. But what killed them is when some fool came out and said, we're going to introduce DMR.
You income poop.
Is when you put the game in, it personalized and it attaches to your profile. So you couldn't take the disc and give it to your friend.
Boy, you don't sit your ass down. Who the you think you is?
I remember that.
That would hurt them tremendously when they did that. Again, PlayStation 4 had 117 million sales. Xbox One had 58 million sales. So fast forward to PlayStation 5 and Series X. Up until 2023, PlayStation 5 has 50 million sales. Xbox Series has 27 million sales. But Series X and S has generated more money digitally than PlayStation and Nintendo combined due to Game Pass and access to those exclusive games. Because in the beginning, when Game Pass first launched, they were killing it because they wasn't giving you the cheap games for Game Pass. They were giving you the good games during Game Pass. Then PlayStation eventually came up with their own service. You know, what was it? PlayStation Plus, PlayStation. I don't know.
It's something like that.
Plus it now.
Yeah. Well, they changed it. They changed it every 3 months or something like that. But
so, literally, one person disrupted, or I would say, one person disrupted the path of Xbox when they came up with the DMR. If that didn't happen, we don't know what direction this could have been in. But as of right now, PlayStation has Xbox up 1-4. Xbox 360 won early. Xbox One, it kind of like it got screwed up, but it's pretty much one. They have 4 wins out of 5 over PlayStation. So that's for console sales. So as of a few months ago, officially over 25 years, PlayStation is the official definite winner of console wars. But Xbox has a secret plan. Their plan is to get Game Pass on everything and make money on the back end, because on PlayStation, period, the most played game is Call of Duty. Xbox owns Call of Duty. So who is the real winner here? Now that we got to the end of this, who is the real winner? Is it about selling a device, or is it about making money? Because right now, the long game, Xbox will eventually make more money.
I know they own Call of Duty, but is that more of an Xbox or the publishing? Because you can own a company, but the publishing be like, we want our stuff on all consoles, our dough. And that's another thing I go back to about, like, you got this great game. Why make it Like Call of Duty, like why they put themselves in the position we want it on all consoles, even though Microsoft owned it. I believe you said Microsoft owned it.
Yeah,
They bought it.
Yeah, they brought it.
Yeah, they brought it, but it's still on all consoles. It's still who technically winning in that battle.
Well, no, that's the argument is who technically is the winner here. Xbox finna make all the money. PlayStation gonna sell all the system. Who is the real winner?
I mean, I still think it goes back to, you know, are we still speaking in terms of console wars or just whoever generating the more money?
The who's the winner is the general consumer.
The
person who probably doesn't care about this.
Yeah,
that's the person who's winning. Everybody who cares, the gamers, the people who are invested in this, nobody.
When you look at Microsoft, it's not just about video games; it's also about PCs and other stuff. Like they dabble in every other area, but I know that's their gaming area. When are these Game Pass backwards like old 360 games?
Yeah, Xbox, all of that.
Oh, it is all of that. Yeah, I say they would definitely be ahead.
I mean, PlayStation had the same thing. You can do the same thing.
Yeah, but not. You got backwards compatibility only with the disc. You're limited to what online you can go back and download. You can't go back and download digitally some of the older games like Tekken. You can't go back and download like Tekken 5 on the
PlayStation Store. You can't go. I thought they gave you access to the classics.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's there, but I feel like sometimes it pops up and you can download it for free. Then it's in your library because you download it on the console, but if you miss it, it's not there. But then if they take it off the store, it's not there anymore.
Well, it's the same thing with Game Pass.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, the same way.
They
take stuff off. Yeah.
Oh, they do take stuff.
But your Xbox Series X is fully backwards compatible. And if you put in those old discs, they will load and they will play. I don't know about the PlayStation. If you put in those old PlayStation discs, I'm not sure
it's not all of them.
It's not all of them, but it's a vast majority. It's over 70%.
Yeah, it's over 70%. Like even the online and network for some of the
you can go in and download. I can go back and download Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars Jade Empire. I can go play the first Halo.
Even like let's say Halo 3. Like
the server's not up.
The server's still not.
But I can play the story.
Okay, that's the thing. Same with PlayStation. Yeah, like some of that stuff you can't play online anymore if you go back. But I feel like if we are going to that subscription-based way, I'm pretty sure everybody, I don't know, Nintendo probably not gonna, they kind of are that way where you go online, but you just buy them individually. Would they come out with a thing like a Game Pass where you just access everything? Would that be more beneficial?
Well, I mean, Nintendo does have that too. It's a Nintendo eShop. Yeah, they all have their own version of Game Pass. It's just Game Pass started the earliest and it's the most popular. They all have their own version.
Yeah.
So I don't want to speak as if they don't have their own. Oh, okay. It's just Game Pass seems to give
successful.
It's way more successful. Yeah. And then that Nintendo and PlayStation were catching up to get to where they were.
That like that Netflix type of subscription.
Yeah.
I think everybody's just going to eventually do that where you have to, no matter what, everybody pay $50 a month, you can play whatever game that comes out. I still think that's probably going to be the end game.
I don't know. I feel like Game Pass, again, for Microsoft, great. For me as an Xbox fan, I don't see it as the biggest plus because it's going to dilute the market.
Right.
You ever seen The Incredibles when the evil villain guy goes, if everybody has superpowers, nobody's special.
Yeah. I remember that.
If everybody can play all of the games,
it doesn't make sense.
It takes away some of the bravado, some of the flair of the game. And, against my own will as an Xbox fan, some of the reason that I've wanted to play PlayStation games is because they were only on PlayStation.
Yeah.
We're going to take that away.
I don't think at-home console is going away.
No, at-home console is not going away. It's just how we play is going to change. We grew up playing games mostly at home, but now I'm going to give you a list of classic games. For each one, which game would you play on mobile or which would you play at home? Do you think you'll have more fun on the road or at home if you're playing these for the first time? All right, first on the list, would you play Tekken on the phone or would you play Tekken at home?
At home.
At home.
Yeah. At home?
Yeah.
Any fighting game, I mean.
At home.
At home.
Yeah, I'm playing Tekken at home as well.
Because you want the opportunity to play with a live person.
Yeah.
You want somebody to walk up and pick up the sticks, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, I agree. If you're right there, you're beating them down.
When I came down,
getting the KOs in.
Co-op games.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
WrestleMania 2000 on No Mercy. Would you play it on the phone or would you play it at home?
On the phone.
You'll play it on the phone?
I play it on the phone.
With those
On the
controls,
road, man.
how would that even?
See,
Yeah.
I would play WrestleMania 2000 on the phone because I wasn't a fan of the N64 controller.
Got him.
Touchscreen on your phone? Oh,
Well, I obviously don't have a different set of controllers, but
yeah, I would
If it
probably
was
still play
cloud
that home.
gaming, if it was cloud, we talking about the future and it's
Right.
cloud gaming is gonna run perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
probably
put it
still
on my
play it.
phone, man. Let's go
I still play it at
Let's go.
home, man.
So you'll play it at home?
on the phone.
You know what? I'll play it on the phone. I couldn't imagine you on the bus and you just beating somebody.
Yeah.
I'll definitely play that.
Dragon Ball Z, would you play it at home on the console or would you play it on the phone?
On the phone too. That'd be super fun.
Probably on the phone.
Yeah,
Even
that'd
though
be
it's a
super
fighting
fun.
game.
Yeah.
I will
It's
play.
another couch co-op. I mean, Dragon Ball what?
See, there's a catch. I will play Dragon Ball Fighters on the phone. I will play like Budokai 3, Birth Limit. I'll play that at home. But Dragon Ball Fighters will be
Budokai 3 at home?
Budokai 3, yeah. But I will play Dragon Ball Fighters on the phone.
I never played that one, so
That's the one I play on the phone.
Oh, Dragon Ball Fighters? Oh, yeah,
I
that's
play it on the Switch. On the Switch, on the small screen.
that Dragon Ball Fight. It's like Marvel vs. Capcom, but with Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay.
I'll play that on the phone. But the other ones, I'll play that on the console. What you say?
Well, I only played the Budokai 3 and a little bit of Tenkaichi.
Okay.
So I'll probably say on the phone. Yeah.
Okay. You'll play it on the phone?
Yeah, I did definitely. Not Tenkaichi, nah.
Nah, Tenkaichi would be hard.
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous. Metal Gear Solid, would you play it on the phone or would you play it on the console?
On the console.
On the console.
There's too much going on.
It's too
Yeah.
much. For sure. First one? Yeah. Any of them.
Oh, man, I need the glasses.
At home, yeah.
Can see this menu.
God of War, are you playing it on the phone or on the console?
On the phone. I can do that on the phone.
I could play that on the phone.
It'd be fun on the phone on the go.
It would
On the
be
phone?
fun. It's an adventure game, and it's pretty.
Yeah, I think I could play God of War on the phone. Spider-Man, could you play that on the phone or would you play it on the console?
100% on the phone.
Probably at home. I think.
Spider-Man?
I'm playing it on the phone.
I think because of how big when you web sling and how massive the city is, that got to be played on a console for me.
Yeah, it gotta be at home.
Give it to me on the phone.
Okay.
It don't have to.
How
be
would you see
played
all the
on phone.
icons? That's so small.
Well, these screens are dope.
Oh yeah, I know. It's just that
The
big screen.
Spider-Man is beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It is beat 'em up.
Yeah,
you're right.
I want to beat 'em up. It's webs, beat 'em up.
Banjo Kazooie, I can play that.
I can play it on the phone.
I can play it on the phone.
That's another one. Yeah,
Yeah, you could.
All the simple games.
Fighting
If it's
Force,
simple controls.
Fighting Force.
Fighting Force was fun. I can play that on the phone.
I can play that on the phone. Yeah.
Flowing straight from the survival scroll.
Elder Scrolls Skyrim. That's probably
Console.
that's a
House.
console.
Yeah,
With the
that's
lights dim. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Elder Scrolls Skyrim. That got to be on the console.
What you talking about?
Oh man,
The
yeah,
glass
that's
is
a
scotch.
classic.
All right, come on.
Tomb Raider. You playing it on the phone or on the console?
On the console, 1, 2, and 3. We talking about old school or
Any of them?
at home? Definitely.
I mean, it's
yeah.
a lot of puzzles. I mean,
Yeah, it's a lot.
Right. It's a lot of puzzles.
That's toss up.
I feel like it's a lot of moments where you can't be running through the game quick. You got to take your time. I got to play that on the system.
Yeah. You might be right.
Devil May Cry.
On the console.
No, I can do it on the phone.
I can do that on the
Beat 'em
phone.
up. It's another beat 'em up.
It is a beat 'em up.
You gotta strip it down.
Man,
It's a beat 'em up. Combo.
Think about it.
Stop the cap.
I'll reframe the question. The question is not would you, it's could you?
Yeah, I could play on the phone. Yes.
Yeah, I could play Devil May Cry on the phone.
I knew you said you played it for the first time and all the other stuff, but yeah.
Grand Theft Auto. Could you play it on the phone or could you play it?
No, I couldn't play it on the phone. No, I gotta play that console.
I couldn't play a new Grand Theft Auto on the phone.
Why? I
can play an old Grand Theft Auto.
Not Grand Theft Auto 5 or 6. No, it's too much. Exactly. They gotta be on the system. Gears of War. I can play that on the phone. The co-op, the person next to me, because it's point and shoot duck,
and it's third person.
I can
play it on the phone.
That might work good on the phone.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's already on the phone.
I'm thinking about all the gameplay. There's nothing on there that I couldn't do on the phone.
Yeah.
Damn, original.
All right, Crash Bandicoot.
That was a simple game.
Yeah, that's easy.
Crash Bandicoot on the phone.
Yeah, on the phone.
Play it on the phone.
I almost don't even like playing it at the crib. Like it'll be enough going on for me.
You played 4 yet?
Huh? You played 4? Crash? Nah, it's good. I know it's good.
It's real good.
Army Man 3D.
Oh my god! Oh man, dude, yeah.
I played that one on my phone.
That is dude. That game was fun.
I played that one on my phone.
Pray y'all need to bring back Army Man and do something different because Army Man was cold.
Yeah, Army Man was.
It was.
God, I forgot about that.
It was nostalgic.
This is could I play it on the phone though? With the whoop. I can play it on a phone, not going into. I remember this part where you used to run in and it was like a big battlefield and just everybody shooting at each other.
Yeah, I remember that.
I couldn't play that part on the phone. But on a console, yeah. But when you run into the big battlefield on Army Man, I couldn't play it on the phone.
Yeah, it'd be too much going on.
It's way too much going on. The Last of Us. I think that's a game I could play on the phone. But I wouldn't be focused on the story though. I wouldn't.
I couldn't play it on the phone.
Yeah, the cinematic aspects.
Cinematic
of Last of Us is like almost part of the story. I mean,
yeah. So it's like you
have to be on the console big screen.
Yeah, it's too much stuff you have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Like
it's like a movie.
Yeah.
Splinter Cell. Could you play that on the cell phone?
Yeah.
Or could you play that? Or would you play it on the system?
I could play
probably on the. I would probably want to play it on the system.
Yeah.
Splinter Cell don't seem like it'd be a pop and play.
It wouldn't be because how slow it is.
Splinter Cell on the bus.
Yeah, no, it's really too slow.
You on the bus?
You know, I can play WWE. I can play wrestling.
Yeah, that was
Devil May Cry. We can cut them up. We can knock heads off. But I gotta sneak behind you. You know,
Borderlands. Could you play that on the phone or would you play it on the system?
Never played.
I played on the system.
Yeah. You play on the. Me, I think with all the guns. I think I'll probably get annoyed trying to figure out all the guns on a mobile phone. I'll rather play it on the system. Super Mario Sunshine.
What did he say?
System.
It's simple enough.
Yeah.
Super Mario Sunshine?
It's simple enough. Yeah.
It's simple enough.
It's not that
it's not like menu heavy or puzzle super heavy. It's I can pop it in and jump right in and start hopping and shooting water. That's what he was doing on Sunshine, right?
Yeah, shooting the water gun all day.
Them graphics.
Making it rain. Mario making it rain. To piggyback off of something that you said earlier, you were talking about the biggest mishap that the Xbox made was
the DMR.
The DMRs. No. The biggest misstep that Microsoft made was the Red Rings of Death.
What?
That was the biggest momentum shift of any type of organization.
I forgot about the Red Rings of Death.
It definitely turned off a lot of people. And that was the stumble that led to the fall of the DMR. If they had never had the Red Rings of Death, the Xbox stock and they brand would have been so far.
The Red Ring of Death was a problem.
Yes, it was a problem. It was so hard for me to defend that as an Xbox fan. I was like, yeah, man, just get another one.
You know what? The Red Ring of Death was a problem. The ring burn on the disc was a problem.
It sure was.
That was like, well, why do I?
But that wasn't enough to deter gamers. That wasn't stopping nobody.
But it was a known thing to be when you ask your friend, like, I had to ship my Xbox on. That became a known thing where
Red Ring of Death was a problem.
It was like, is you battle tested?
Yeah.
You haven't Red Ring yet?
Cut that show.
We had
You gotta put the red rings screen with someone, cause it was like a half circle, then it was two, then it was the full one.
Yeah, it was
that bad that we was starting to go look at the manuals and understand what the error codes was.
Wait, but you all don't think the laser burn on a did for the problem? Because unless you had insurance, regular warranty didn't cover that.
No, it didn't.
Regular warranty didn't cover the laser burn.
And you know, another thing, people mind the Xbox. You go to a swap meet or something like that, and they put all those consoles, all those games on your stuff, and then now you don't, you ain't gotta.
Well, they still mod to today, but
they still mod.
Yeah, but not like that. Like,
yes, they do.
You can put all the old. Well, I mean, maybe old game, but
the Nintendo Switch, they modded it. All the games on one cartridge.
Oh yeah,
they modded. They just don't talk about it as much.
Yeah, they don't talk about, but not like how it was when you had that one disc you put on there and you had everything.
The Switch is like that.
Come on Xbox now.
What?
You think Xbox is?
They do. Yeah, we don't. It's not popular no more, but they still mod these systems. But the red ring of death.
What y'all doing, son? I'm dead tired of this.
That was a rough time.
The red ring of death was a problem.
It was a rough time. And the red ring of death. It was that. I think that the Connect reveal was that.
That red ring of death.
The red ring of death was
but I was a
well, PlayStation had something where the light turned white.
It's where the thermal compound separated from the GPU, where you had to unscrew the console. But it wasn't like that. Just you had an older. That just telling you had the console way too long. That's all that was, because it burns out and it's separated and it no longer works. I done that twice. I ain't trying to get in trouble,
But what's funny with the red ring of death? I used to put because I remember it happened to me twice. I put that thing in a towel, put it in the freezer, then let it cool down or something. Then I forgot what else I did. I put the fan on it, but I think when I put it in the freezer overnight, it fixed it. But that was a problem. That red ring was a serious problem.
Yeah, and just a lot of the marketing too. I don't think they took a lot of the gaming.
Yeah, because they had to come out with a statement like, all the consoles, whatever date was covered this day. If you send it in, then you had to go to the store, like Best Buy. It was. Whew.
Yeah,
man, that was crazy. So when you think about it,
but
and with that reveal, when after Microsoft talked about the DMR,
the DMR,
Sony made that little commercial where they were like, "Here's how you trade games on PlayStation," and he took the disc out. I used to be a Jay-Z fan, and that was like hearing Ether for the first time. I'm like,
I remember that.
I can't go to work tomorrow.
PlayStation, y'all wrong for that commercial.
I can't go to work tomorrow.
Y'all wrong for that commercial. So this is how you share your games, and you just pass it.
Dagger.
I
would love to see the stock price that night. Like that was
y'all wrong for that.
That was hilarious.
But y'all, hey, it's great marketing. That was a nail in the coffin, wasn't it? That was it.
And after that, Xbox has quietly still leaned into it. They've leaned into online. They've slowly walked us into it. But they creeped us into it. Now it's Game Pass all day. No disc.
Well,
you ain't sharing nothing.
But they don't limit you on how many people consoles or devices you can log in.
No. I think you get up to maybe like 3 or 4. That you can do it. But PlayStation do that. They don't let you just put your profile on everybody.
No, they'll actually, if this is your primary console or something like that. Yeah.
But what game console need to make a comeback? Or you think if they could, that could make a comeback?
Sega.
Say Sega?
Yeah.
He ain't lying.
Not the Sega Genesis or Dreamcast. I'm just saying if they can make a comeback, Sega.
Okay. Who do you think is make a comeback?
Xbox 362 or 720.
Xbox 362 or 720.
Stop the cap.
I would say take all those launch titles, make a new version, and let's push it out.
I would say who need to make a comeback just because of the compact disc, PlayStation 2. Developers had no problem making games on a compact disc. The disc was black or the blue.
Oh, yeah.
They had no problems. There was never no issue about space. I think the compact disc at the time was one of the best CDs you can ever have to develop games on. But we never know. Maybe Atari will make a second attempt on Neo Geo or somebody Dreamcast. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But good conversation, y'all. If y'all like the content, slap like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all guys next time. PlayStation, you're the winner. Xbox, we'll see what the future holds.
Shout out to the PSP.